I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with this guy. We seem to think alike, and we seem to be on the same path at the same time. They're offering us a contract. It's a different angled view at what I've been talking about. What does the end result look like for you? And what? On whose terms? They're offering us a contract. On whose terms? Don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side. Don't even fix things right. You got a contract on your own terms.
How's it going, folks? Hope you're well. I'm not even sure the sun's up yet, probably, but my body clocked the way it is. I'm in Mexico at the minute. I spoke at Acapulco yesterday. That's why my throat is a little bit hoarse. It was great, though. I don't even know where that saying comes from. Do horses have deep voices? But it was great. It was, it was really busy, really cool audience, loads of people from loads of different backgrounds and different places and stuff. All different reasons for being at Acapulco, do you know what I mean? They got drawn there. That's what they've got in common. Apart from that, their life story is all completely different. Their politics is very different. They're just about freedom. I think that's basically what they've got in common. So I was given a talk, and what's great about Acapulco is they give you a stage and a microphone and an audience, and basically go, off you go, mate. Like they didn't even want to know what I was talking about, or you know, or anything really in that, like background, or just let us know, you know, what points you, nothing. Just go speak, man, like total freedom. Which for me is great for someone that kind of is a bit of a fly in the greenhouse in what I'm talking about a lot of the time. Like I'll go off on different tangents or whatever. So for me, Acapulco is absolutely perfect. But the main theme of what I was talking about is basically like this post-tyranny world, essentially. Like if we win this battle, which I absolutely believe we will, then basically what does the world look like? What world are we trying to create? Talking about flying a greenhouse, look at the mountains over there. Mate, oh there they are. It's amazing. And basically, in short, the answer is, well, that depends on us, doesn't it? It depends on what we accept, because everything is transactional. In the establishment, the state, the cult, whatever you want. There's loads of people in tents and stuff there aren't going to walk this way. They basically give you an offer. And whether you accept it or not is down to us. So the offer at the moment is, you the people, we the people, we hand over all our taxes and all that stuff. We get charged money on everything we earn, everything we buy. We hand that over to them, and they use it to kill everyone and blow everyone up, whilst at the same time having sex with children. That's the offer at the moment. So they're putting that offer out there, and I wonder if that's part of what this whole Epstein file release is. Because I was talking about this yesterday as well. Like, I've got loads of theories on it, on why they've allowed it, or at least a part of it. And obviously all of these theories can be true at the same time, and I've spoken about them on this channel in terms of a bit of a release valve, give us a few names to appease people, also to concentrate the mind of the people that are still in the blackmail operation but haven't been redacted, in a way of basically saying, you carry on doing what you're doing, or your name comes out as well, whatever. Obviously that's part of it.
Oh yeah.
Also I've asked the question, is it a test? And if we fail that test, in terms of whether we accept it or not, then they go on to the next level. And I guess this idea of it being an offer kind of ties into the same theory, that they're going, okay, this is the world we're offering you. Like I say, we take all your money, we use it to buy bombs, you're left with absolutely nothing, and all the while we're having sex with kids and just being freaking despicable. That's the offer on the table at the moment. Now whether we take that is up to us. So if we fight back against it and we push back against it and we refuse to be gaslit into believing that, oh no, it was just some thing in the past, it was to do with Russia, wasn't it? Yeah, it's okay, yeah, it's different now. If we allow ourselves to be gaslit like that, then it continues. If we don't allow ourselves to be gaslit and we keep pushing and we keep going, no, we're not being distracted from this. You're not coming out and saying that's it, which is what the DOJ is doing at the moment, saying, oh, that's it, no more file releases. What we need to do is go, no, I don't think so. There'll be more, please. And those people that are named in these files will be held accountable. And it won't just be swept under the carpet and allowed to happen and allowed to continue. Because if we do look the other way and say, oh, what can we do about it? It's just me, it's just little me, what can I do? I can't do anything, can I? Then it will continue. And in fact, I don't even think it will continue. I think it will green light these goblins to do more and to be more despicable. And almost, this was another conversation I had with someone yesterday, almost normalise it. So that, it's not been a shock for me to see this despicable stuff in the Epstein files, because obviously I've grown up with my dad talking about all this stuff that was going on, and I've been around conspiracy theories and all that stuff since I was a kid. So for me, it's despicable and horrendous, but I'm not shocked by it, right? Of course I'm not shocked by it. I've been talking about it for years. Whereas lots of people are. Not even just people that are, well, I don't like the term normies, but people use the term normies. Not even just people that you would consider to be normies that have lived in this kind of like bubble of, yeah, well, some politicians are corrupt, and yeah, some politicians are incompetent, but if we can vote them out, then it can be better. They've lived in that bubble, and now they're seeing that these people are demons, that, you know, murdering children and everything else. And the fact that it's bipartisan, it's not just one party doing it, it goes across all parties and all political persuasions. So they're shocked as hell, can't really compute. But also there's a lot of people within the so-called alternative that have kind of gone so far but still buy into the political left and right paradigm. They're massively shocked too. Like, oh my god, I knew politicians were bad, but this is like, whoa. So what we need to make sure is that it isn't allowed to be normalised now. Because at the moment we're at the state of shock for most people. Like this, I can't believe this was going on. So what we need to do is keep it at that state of shock. Don't allow it to become, oh yeah, well that's what politicians do. What? So I think that's really important, ladies and gentlemen, that we just keep pressuring to not let it, one, be normalised, and not let it, two, more importantly, be got away with. Also on the speech, right, I'm showing my age now, yesterday, I ended with like this sort of analogy, but this from a film, right? The film Willow. Do you remember the film Willow?
Yeah,
right?
I do.
It's old, but so am I. It's an 80s film, and it's a great film. I mean, it's a George Lucas film, so, you know, there's loads to know about those sort of guys. But there's this scene in it where, and forgive me if you've watched it, because, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. There's a scene in it where Willow is this young guy, he's a young dad, he wants to be the wizard's apprentice. His dream is to be the wizard, basically. He's like well into magic. And the wizard in the village is hiring a new apprentice. First time in years, right? So there's three guys that want to be the apprentice. And water's coming right up. Oh, it's actually got my feet. There's these three guys that want to be the apprentice. And the crowd's turned out, you know, who's he going to pick? Is he even going to pick one? So the wizard comes to the front and he's there and he's got his hand out and he says, like, in what finger holds the power to control the universe, right? Puts his hand out. So the first guy, like, picks a finger, shakes his hand. The second guy picks another finger, shakes his head, sorry, shakes his hand. Shakes his head, no, it's not that one, I'm getting really wet now. Lucky I'm not wearing shoes, isn't it? And then it comes to Willow. And Willow's like, he's deliberating. It's like, he's thinking, clearly thinking deeply about it. Anyway, then he picks a finger, it's the wrong finger. Guy shakes his head, no. And then shouts, no new apprentice this year. Right, no new apprentice this year. It's booing and whatever. Willow's gutted. Anyway, afterwards, the wizard goes up to Willow and says, what were you thinking? Something was going through your mind, basically, when before you picked, you were thinking something. Willow says, oh no, it was stupid. What I was thinking was stupid. So what was it? Well, I was thinking the power was in my own finger. That's the answer. That's the right answer. Should have said that. Should have gone with what you really believed, and you'd be the apprentice or whatever. And the reason I used that analogy yesterday, not just because Willow's an awesome film, but because that's the reality that we live in. So we're pushing out for these saviours and, political saviours and religious saviours and ideological saviours and all this kind of stuff. Right, I'm going to get freaking soaked here. Right, it's actually gone right up on my shorts. When actually the power is within us. And actually, if anything these files have shown, is that all these people, all these fake saviours, whether it be Bill Gates, people actually believed he was a saviour once, can you believe that? They're all in there and they're all in on it. And so the only way we're going to save ourselves, we don't get totally soaked, the only way we're going to save ourselves is by using, metaphorically, our own finger. Because we have the power first.
Thank you very much for watching and subscribing to my YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen Willow. I'd recommend to go and watch it, actually. It's a real good movie. Bit of a mind opener. Bit of an unlocker. It is right. So, what should we probably perhaps do? Strike. Alright. It's like this. Because, here's one. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I've known him for years. He's involved with city mission and charities and stuff, and I used to work with him. Nice enough guy. But, Mormonism. And, he actually believes that all these kids and that in the Epstein files are their own kids. No, Donald Trump's alright. All the pictures are just Donald with his own kids. And that's why they're terrified of him. I didn't know he had like 20 little girls. I didn't bother going into it with him. Clearly he's sort of stuck in the mud. The swamp's got him in the mud round it, doesn't it? These people are so... Let's just say, there are Masons that don't even know that they're Masons. They're a Mason's tool. The Mason's normalizer. They're a monitoring spirit. And they inadvertently, not even any the wiser, will go and have a conversation with someone and don't even realise they've been baited into spilling the beans on everyone they talk to. So those people, I bait them up. I bait them up and wait for it to come full circle and come back to me. Cool. I only said that to one person. And I look at the channel that would have had to go through. Cool. So to go from that person, to get back to me from this person, would have had to go to that person, to that person. So telling one thing to one person can expose anywhere up to 4 or 5 people. So, right, there's a chain of communication going on there. If you want things to repeal, you're not going to do it with a petition. The Citizens Party. By doing a petition, you're participate in a petition. To partition. What's a partition? It's a division. A partition is a subdivision. So you get you sign a petition, you participate in the petition to partition in a subdivision. That's one to get your head round, isn't it? Words mean things, even if it's spelt differently. You get words spelt differently mean the same, and then you get words spelt the same mean different. And you get words pronounced the same with different there, and there. For example, 2 and 2 and 2. One of them's a number. And some things that are described the same in the dictionary, but it doesn't show you the flow direction, like communism and socialism. People think they're the same, but they're not. Communism is for the state, socialism is for the people. But it has to be democratic socialism. Democratic socialism counts the votes by weight rather than numbers. What do I mean by that? In democratic socialism, you vote on the policy, not the people. You vote on the proposed legislature and their policy, not the people, not the party. Do the people think that we need more beds in the hospital? Hell yeah. Do the people think that we need more funding? Well, it depends what you're going to spend it on, doesn't it? You're going to spend it on a radiation machine that the average Joe doesn't get to use? No. Not unless average Joe gets to use it. We're not going to do the will of the people, then the people aren't going to send any money your way. We're going to strike. We need to start pulling people's union. We need to unionise as the people. Not corporate union, not company union. A people's union. A liberation army, as it were, or as it should be. A liberation army without guns. No, staying home. Quite. I can sit here on the couch and go broke. I don't need the help of the government. I don't need to work hard to go and broke. I can sit on the couch and do that. I can sit on the couch and make YouTube videos and do that. Actually, I'm better off. Why? Gives me time to grow my own food and do my own thing. To minimise my expenditures and cost of living. Hate to break it to you guys, but your taxes are going to nefarious expenditures, and us dolies are way better looked after than you are, in the sense that those of us who choose to look after ourselves are taking pretty damn good care of ourselves and our families, and we're present for our kids. We're doing a better job. The ones that aren't hooked on drugs and stuff are doing a far better job at raising our kids than you are, because we're home for our kids when they get home from school. We're here, we're present, we're here to help them with their problems, we're here to help them solve their own problems. See how that works? The government knows this, and this is why the race is on, because there's a whole generation of people who have learnt to exercise their no muscle. Problem is, though, most of that generation is still indoctrinated with an idiocratic education system and dumb parents. They're going to say no, but they don't know what to do with their no. Because you don't have an app for that. I've got irritable leg. I've got not irritable leg, irritable bowel. I've got restless leg syndrome today. I have it most days. Yeah. I don't want to. You got ADHD? No, no such thing. I'm just itching to get out and live life and do some stuff, you know. Anywho, I've got to pick up another new book today. I might get laid by some more. I love going to the old shops and the old books. Believe me, there's another book burning coming. Everything's now AI Google knowledge. Only takes the operators of those platforms to change some definitions, and AI will completely write a whole new history for us. It's a worry, isn't it? Do we need this? Do we need more Epstein files? Look, there's a lot of it that's just pie in the sky and storm in a teacup. On purpose, purposely misleading. So this is a shocking thing about psyopses. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Paris Hilton, and so forth. They're doing some great things, but the problem is that they're open-ended. The timing is a bit too convenient for me. It's a good thing, but the timing's too convenient for the Epstein files. Everything's just going to be labelled as an AI deepfake or whatever now. It's like, oh, well, we can't prove it's not. So I would be more inclined to suggest that how about we just hold on the AI shit. Because, look at it this way. Look at China's TikTok and that sort of stuff, and it's all about making them smarter, more reserved, stoic generations of kids growing up to be moral, decent adults. More productive, more value in one finger than most adults in the West have got going on. Or like as a collective. We believe the bullshit we're told by our favourite news station. Like, I mean, the man I was talking about before, who believes that all the Donald Trump stuff, or Trumpstein, I'll call him, they're always kids pictures and stuff, you know. You're like, yeah, okay, you can drink the Kool-Aid if you like, mate. Me, I'm not buying it. I've knocked about with too many liars and questionable people in my life to have that one pulled on me. Full disclosure, the whole lot, non-redacted. There you go, guys. Run with it. Do your worst. Meanwhile, we're just going to get on with everything, and everything belongs to us. I mean, how many people complain and have their voices shut down trying to remove pedophiles released from prison, convicted pedophiles that either are or aren't on the list, a bit like on the registry. Why are they always moved out of prison to somewhere where there's a school bus stop or kids' playgrounds or schools? Like that Philip Doe, for example. There's a few of them. There's quite a few of them. There's one down near the bottom of Parklands High School, down the bottom of the hill. It was in the paper for having sex with a 12-year-old, now admitted to it. Having a relationship, maintaining a relationship with a 12-year-old. Should the Advocate paper have commented on that before the end of the case? No. Once it's finished, yes, especially when it's admitted. Especially when plead guilty. Like people have a right to know who that is, where they live, or to ensure that they don't live anywhere near kids. I don't think they should be out in public. Personally, what I think they should be doing, they should be working on a farm, providing the prison with food. That's what I think. We don't have the right to go murdering people. Nor should they have the free-range choice to repeatedly keep being released after being in protected custody for a while, in a hive of them, all feeling sorry for themselves and each other because they're not wired properly in the first place. It's not going to change as long as we keep the system that is profiting. It's profit. It's making money off of this shit. You see, like, this whole system, it is the whole system is financed by our validation in taxes and voting to maintain the status quo. Just minor tweaks here and there, but nothing ever really changes. They change one thing, but they change something else to counteract it. So it still stays the same, it just has a different name. Now there's new laws that the police are getting. Wouldn't it be nice if that actually worked the opposite way around? Where no one was above the law and they could detain anyone in government. So years ago, how often do you hear of these grubby politicians ever getting investigated or arrested, interrogated, held in custody in case on the grounds of being a flight risk? When we know all the dirty grubs are doing far worse things than what we do that don't hurt anybody else. It just goes to show who they work for, don't they? They work for they work for the pedos. They work for the grubs, the Ponzi scheme scumbags. Those who profit from our dishevelled and degraded, debauched life that is provided to us with no options other than to live that life. Well, we have an option, but it's just nobody's taken that option. I say strike until everything's released. Now everything's released. Alright, you've lost all your validity now. Bye. Go and eat each other. Eat yourselves. Don't care. Lock them all up and say, yeah, sink or swim. Stick them all on an island. Lord of the Flies. Let them face the demise of their own detriment. Make them face it. We don't have to do it. We don't have to do the dirty work and be just as bad as them. Hardening ourselves to become accepting of murder. So even if they're bad, no matter how bad they are, it's not up to us to murder them. How are we any better? We stick them on an island. There you go. Lord of the Flies your life out. They deserve nothing better and nothing worse. Yeah. See, let them have Bikini Atoll. How about we actually get those people who are decent village type people and let them have some decent life since they had the A-bomb tested on them. Give them some kind of a chance at life. And let the scumbags live there with the radiation. There you go, eat coconuts and die. They're not going to get anywhere. We'll let them have it and cut down everything and get rid of everything that they can use as a canoe. You can either build a canoe for a couple of years or some shelter. What's it going to be? Just leave them just enough to have to make that decision. You can all share some shelter, or some of you can maybe, hopefully, paddle your way across the ocean somewhere and leave the rest behind. Ha! Be a little bit humane, you know. Leave them half a coconut husk. Let them eat the radiated food, but just, no. Give them nothing. That was good enough for the islanders at Bikini Atoll. You see, let's think, how can any military be moral for it to sit okay with them to go to another country and call that defence and blow them to smithereens? And then we sit here as if we're all high and mighty going, oh, look, because if we don't, they'll kill us all. Right. We know that all these terrorist attacks have been inside jobs, like, we know that. So what are you basing that logic on? Other than the fact that we kept throwing rocks at the hornet's nest and now the hornets are pissed off. You know, if we hand them the culprits, here, you can have them. It's these people. Have them. Let them have them. I still say that every single redacted name has got a copy of the list that's not redacted. I reckon there's lists everywhere the same list. No one's going to say anything because they know they're on the list. I suppose. I woke up too early. Good poo. Oh dear. Yeah. Time to face the day. Time to face the music.